Before we get into anything, man, y'all better do me a huge favor, man. Smash the like button, man. Y'all ain't been really doing y'all big one on the like button lately, man. I don't know what's going on, but if y'all all do me a huge favor right now and smash that like button, man, and to take 5 seconds out your day. One like make a major difference with the entire channel. It'll also help this video boost and rank out to more people and things like that. So if y'all do that, man, y'all really walking for the kid. But today, title and thumbnail, y'all really already know what to expect, man. Pregnant wife unalived just moments after her baby gender reveal party. That's actually pretty sad to know that she was finna bring life into this world, to know that her life was ended short. I just hope it wasn't the baby's father, you know, but let's get into it right now and see what's going on, y'all boys.
In the late hours of June 4th, 2024, a 33-year-old pregnant woman was found dead with multiple wounds in her apartment. Bolivia Monique had been looking forward to welcoming her 6th child. She had just celebrated her gender reveal party, and moments later, she was found. As investigators dug deeper, they uncovered a tragic truth. The person responsible wasn't a stranger, but the very one who should have protected her at all costs.
Hey, look at me. Did you follow me on Instagram yet?
Nope.
If you did not, then you need to follow me on Instagram. Come on over to Instagram. Why haven't you followed me on Instagram yet? It's on the screen right now. It's pinned below in the comments, and it's in the description. So it's no way you can miss it. Come on over, man.
The father of her unborn child.
And we just talked about that. We was hoping it wouldn't have been so, man. Was just hoping.
This is the tragic case of Bolivia Monique Williams.
She was
33-year-old Bolivia Monique Williams was born on March 10, 1991 in Columbus County, North Carolina, and later made her home in Regalwood. She was the daughter of Peggy Blanks and Michael Williams. Those who knew Bolivia remember her as a vibrant and joyful soul, someone who radiated love and positivity wherever she went. She had a deep passion for dancing and a natural ability to uplift those around her. Her energy was contagious and her presence left a lasting impact.
Yes. Ooh,
dang.
Yes, child. You guys.
Bolivia also loved social media, often sharing snapshots of her life through photos and videos. Her online presence reflected her bright spirit and her love for connecting with others. Bolivia attended Southeastern Community College, where she left a lasting impression on both classmates and professors with her vibrant energy and strong work ethic. That same lively spirit followed her into adulthood, where she pursued her passion for business and became an entrepreneur. To those who knew her, Bolivia's sense of style was always on point, turning heads wherever she went. But beyond the fun and fashion, Bolivia was deeply compassionate and generous. She treated everyone with kindness and respect, giving love freely and sincerely. So it was no surprise when she caught the attention of a man who would go on to change her life forever. Bolivia eventually met a man. Let's call him Joe for the sake of this story. The connection between them was instant. They were young, full of life, and shared a lot in common. From the outside, their relationship seemed happy and genuine. Although much is not publicly known about Joe, what was clear was that he and Bolivia quickly fell for each other. They spent more and more time together, and as their bond deepened, their lives took a major turn. Bolivia found out she was pregnant. The news brought pure excitement. Both Bolivia and Joe were thrilled at the idea of becoming parents. They embraced the journey ahead with open hearts. For Bolivia, it was a dream come true. She looked forward to motherhood with joy and hope, especially with Joe by her side, as they prepared to build a future together. A few months later, the couple welcomed a beautiful baby boy. From the very beginning, it was as if motherhood came naturally to Bolivia. She embraced it with grace and warmth, seamlessly stepping into her new role. Her social media became a reflection of the joy she felt, filled with adorable photos and videos of her baby. Not long after, their family grew again with the arrival of a beautiful baby girl. Her presence brought even more love into the home, and Bolivia embraced motherhood with the same passion.
So they already had 2 kids.
She always had, but love alone wasn't enough to hold everything together. slowly, cracks began to form beneath the surface. By 2018, Bolivia was a proud mother of 5 children whose ages ranged from 16 to an 11-month-old toddler. While it's unclear whether Joe was the father of all the children, what was clear was that at some point, Bolivia and Joe's once loving relationship began to fall apart, and the two eventually went their separate ways. Despite the challenges she faced, Bolivia found new strength in the role that mattered most to her. Still, Bolivia never let heartbreak define her. She built her identity around motherhood. Her 5 children were the heartbeat of her life. Friends described her as a hands-on mom who never missed a school event, no matter how busy she was. She treated each of her children as individuals, nurturing their unique personalities with care and understanding. She documented every special moment. Supporting her every step of the way was her mother, Peggy Blanks. More
Man, shout out to the mothers, man.
than just a grandmother, Peggy was Bolivia's rock and trusted confidant. Their relationship wasn't just mother and daughter. It was a strong, unwavering partnership rooted in love and their shared devotion to raising Bolivia's kids. 3 times a week, Peggy would arrive with home-cooked meals and stay to help with the bedtime routines. During school breaks, she'd take the older children to her home, giving Bolivia the chance to rest and recharge. Their phone calls were a constant, multiple times a day. Quick check-ins to stay connected amidst their busy lives. Neighbors often say that Bolivia had inherited her mother's strength, work ethic, and fierce protectiveness. Bolivia's days began at 5:30 a.m., preparing breakfast and lunches before waking her children for school. After the drop-offs, she would tackle household management, budgeting, appointments, and keeping their modest home running smoothly. She turned their backyard into a campsite for weekend adventures, organized homemade birthday celebrations with heartfelt touches, and hosted spontaneous dance parties in their living room.
With her friends and family.
Man, she seemed like she was a cool, you know what I'm saying? Like a cool parent, man.
Despite the challenges, she filled their home with laughter, love, and the kind of magic that money can't buy. That was until her path crossed with a man whom she thought was there to help her carry her burdens, but would soon become the heaviest one of all. In early 2023, Bolivia met 31-year-old Neji Devon Leach through mutual acquaintances at a community gathering. Neji appeared warm and thoughtful, always knowing the right thing to say, traits that immediately stood out to Bolivia, who rarely received personal attention amid the demands of raising 5 children. Neji often praised her dedication as a mother, telling her that her maternal instincts were one of the things that drew him in. For Bolivia, who didn't often hear praise for her parenting, this validation meant a lot. Within just 3 months, the two were officially a couple. It felt like the beginning of a beautiful new chapter. Neji gradually became a steady part of Bolivia's life. He started by getting to know her older children, easing into their routines before becoming a regular presence on weekends. He offered hands-on support, giving rides to the kids, helping with the groceries, and even pitching in financially when he could. To many,
just imagine coming into this lady's life and taking her life from everybody that was dependent on her. That's crazy, bro.
He seemed like a supportive and dependable figure, someone genuinely invested in Bolivia and her family's well-being. It wasn't long before the couple learned they were expecting a new addition to the family. Bolivia found out she was pregnant with Neji's child. At first, she felt overwhelmed. Adding a 6th child to an already full house meant even tighter finances, less space, and more responsibilities. But once
she had 6 children. This man took 6. Man, this man took a mother of 6 children. 6 children finna go up without a mother. That's crazy, bro. You a wild boy. You wild boy.
The initial shock had settled, Bolivia met the moment with her usual strength and unwavering commitment to her family. Her children had mixed reactions. The youngest didn't quite understand what a new baby meant, while the older ones showed curiosity and even excitement, especially at the idea of helping out with a new baby brother. But Bolivia made sure to ease their worries with gentle reassurance. As her pregnancy moved into the 2nd trimester, Bolivia got to work preparing for the new arrival. She cleared out a corner of their small dining area, transforming it into a cozy makeshift nursery. From the outside, Bolivia and Neji seemed to share a practical partnership rooted in mutual benefit. He gave the support she deeply needed, while she brought him a sense of family and stability. However, beneath this arrangement was something even Bolivia wasn't prepared for. Neji's involvement in Bolivia's life quickly became inconsistent. Some weeks he was fully present, helping out around the house, checking in frequently, and playing the part of a supportive partner. Other weeks, he disappeared without explanation, leaving Bolivia to juggle everything alone. Bolivia, who had always been deeply invested in her relationships, gave it her all. Neji, on the other hand, kept his emotional distance. Friends began to notice changes in Bolivia. She was altering her appearance to suit his tastes, rearranging her schedule to be more available, and even pulling back some of her closest friendships. It was clear she was doing everything she could to make the relationship work.
Right.
Little did Bolivia know, there was more to Neji's control. The relationship operated on his terms, with Bolivia often adjusting her behavior to avoid conflict and keep the support he offered her family. Neji showed intense jealousy over her interactions with men, even her children's teachers. He frequently checked her phone and questioned her whereabouts. He'd stir up conflict, shut down emotionally to punish her, then come back with over-the-top affection once she apologized, often for—
Bro, I'm gonna be honest. I don't think a mother of 6 has no time to sit there and entertain anybody else, bro. So all the insecure stuff, bro, gotta go out the window because it just doesn't even make sense. I couldn't see a mother of 6 having time to go and cheat. I just can't. Even a father of 6. It might be possible, but I just couldn't imagine it, man.
things that
It's not enough
weren't
time in the
her
day.
fault. But it wasn't just her who was suffering. His interactions with her children revealed deeper issues. He played favorites, setting different standards for each child, which led to growing tension at home. When upset with Bolivia, he sometimes withheld affection from the kids as well. Financial control crept in slowly. Neji began by covering bills, then used that support as leverage during arguments. Bolivia's isolation deepened as she skipped family events if Neji couldn't go, gradually cutting herself off from the very support system she needed most.
People don't understand that, man. Like when you going through a lot, you will cut off so many people. And people don't really look at it as situations as far as you growing. They'll be like, oh, not growing, but you going through something. You know, they'll look at it like, oh, this person just ain't messing with me. Like most of the time, if you ain't heard from somebody in a long time that you normally hear to, they don't want to talk to you. Some people just have a different way of going about things when it comes to grieving. You know what I'm saying? And knowing her, she ain't got enough time to sit on the phone for 3 hours and express her emotions because she got 6 kids to take care of. You know what I'm saying? Like that's, man, she probably don't even have enough time for herself to really regulate. So I can understand her removing herself in those environments because she know what the talk was going to be. She knew that when she went there, everybody finna be, what's happened? What's going on? What's this? What's that? And she probably ain't had time for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I definitely understand being in situations like that to remove yourself because you don't have the energy and the time to sit there and constantly keep, you know what I'm saying? Like explaining what's going on. It's draining almost. You get what I'm saying? So I'm sorry that she had to go through this, man. But, you know, just for people, if you got family members that's like this, where they with someone and then they not coming around as much as not doing what they doing as much, that can be a sign for something bigger. Like, honestly.
May 19th, 2024, Bolivia and Neji hosted a gender reveal in her backyard, a small gathering of close friends and family. Blue confetti poppers burst in the air, and a cake with "It's a boy" and blue icing confirmed the baby's gender. Bolivia looked radiant in her photos, her hand resting protectively on her belly. She had already chosen a name, Isaiah James. Those who were there couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. Neji's expression told a different story. While he smiled, it didn't reach his eyes. He stood slightly apart as loved ones embraced Bolivia. Guests noticed his distant behavior, minimal interaction, and constant glances at his phone. Bolivia took his quiet demeanor as nerves about fatherhood, but for Neji, the celebration marked a turning point. One where the pregnancy became undeniably real and the weight of performance began to sink in. After the celebration, Bolivia started discussing practical matters, adding Neji's name to the birth certificate and potential child support arrangements. But these conversations clashed with Neji's apparent preference to keep the relationship casual and undefined. But what happened next would set off a chain of events that no one could have imagined. June 4th began like any other day for Bolivia. She did school drop-offs at 7:30 a.m., attended a 10 a.m. prenatal appointment where she learned her baby boy was developing well, then she went grocery shopping. Phone records show 3 calls with Neji between 2:15 and 4:30 p.m. By 6 p.m., Bolivia had a home-cooked dinner ready. Her mother, Peggy, had taken the 2 youngest kids for the evening, leaving Bolivia with her 3 older children. Neighbors reported seeing Neji pull up around 7:15 p.m. in his black sedan. At 7:45 p.m., Bolivia's oldest child left to stay with a friend for a school project. The remaining 2 kids were watching TV in a back bedroom. At approximately 8:33 p.m., police responded to a 911 call from a frantic neighbor. "I just heard 4 or 5 from next door. It's the house with the blue shutters on Dixon Road." Just 3 minutes later, another call came in, this time from Bolivia's 12-year-old son. "Someone my mom. Please hurry, she's bleeding a lot." The dispatcher stayed on the line, guiding him to apply pressure to her wound.
Bro, they took the life of a mother. The same, she cooking meals, she taking care of her children while you being a bum. Taking care of her children, doing what she needs to do as a mom while you being a bum, and you coming in front of her kids, bro. That's so crazy, man. Shout out to them neighbors though, because I'm gonna be honest. I've stayed in like a house where it's populated, like in an area in a division where it's populated. You really don't hear what's going on. So for the neighbors to be able to hear, they knew something was wrong by the way he probably pulled up. Or she must have informed them on what was going on for them to just be in tune like that. You know, because gunshots is loud, but when you're in an enclosed space, depending on how big the spot is, they not that loud. But that's crazy, bro. That's sad. It took this lady life in front of her children. And all the other children gone. Man, that is a traumatizing just call, just to know your mama dropped you off. That's the last time.
The panic in the boy's voice led the dispatcher to upgrade the call to the highest priority. When deputies arrived at the scene, they made a heartbreaking discovery. Police arrived at the home at 8:41 p.m., followed by paramedics at 8:44 p.m. Inside the living room, they found 33-year-old pregnant Bolivia Williams suffering from multiple wounds to her chest and
she was pregnant. Bro, you a coward, bro. Coward.
Abdomen. Her 2 children, ages 12 and 10, were by her side following the dispatcher's instructions and doing their best to help. Paramedics worked quickly to stabilize Bolivia and most especially her baby, but when their efforts failed, they made the urgent decision to transport her to Columbus Regional Healthcare System. Despite every attempt to save her, both Bolivia and her unborn son were pronounced dead at 9:38 p.m. The 2 children were brought to the sheriff's office, where child specialists gently interviewed them while awaiting their grandmother. Their accounts revealed key details about the argument that unfolded before the Police quickly launched an investigation into the tragic incident, seeking answers at the crime scene. Investigators noted blood had soaked through the living room carpet and splattered across family photos on the wall. 5 9mm shell casings were also recovered, and the front door showed no signs of forced entry, indicating Bolivia likely knew her attacker. In the kitchen, 2 untouched dinner plates and partially filled glasses suggested the evening had started calmly. Bolivia's purse was emptied on the counter, with her wallet still containing cash but her car keys missing. A broken picture frame displaying a photo from the recent gender reveal lay shattered on the floor. But it was what the people next door revealed that surprised investigators. Neighbors provided crucial details during questioning. One neighbor reported hearing raised voices from inside the house at around 8:20 p.m., followed by multiple at 8:32. Another neighbor stated they saw Neji leave the house a few minutes after the gun.
It's crazy because, you know, most people be saying like, bro, I got some nosy neighbors. You know what I'm saying? How do they know what's going on in my crib? But situations like this helps, bro. Like, okay, it helps, and it shows that, like, just because you got nosy neighbors does not mean that it's like that they're just doing that in the intent to be harmful. But having a nosy neighbor in her case helped. You get what I'm saying? Like, You know, her life was still taken, but at least it was helping,
briefly
man.
return inside, and then leave again by 8:40, driving off in Bolivia's SUV. Armed with those first-hand accounts, investigators knew they had to move fast. Immediately, deputies secured the crime scene and issued a bolo, or be on the lookout, for both Neji and Bolivia's stolen Subaru Forester. Investigators began canvassing the neighborhood, collecting doorbell camera footage that captured Neji's arrival and hasty departure. By midnight, a task force was formed to locate Neji. Surveillance was set up at his known residences, workplace, and frequent spots, while Border Patrol was notified to prevent him from fleeing the country. Meanwhile, after fleeing Bolivia's home, Neji's movements became erratic but intentional. Traffic cameras captured him running a red light at 8:43 p.m., just minutes after the shooting. He avoided main highways, opting instead for back roads through Columbus County. Gas station footage captured Neji at 9:17 purchasing a prepaid phone, water, and energy drinks, paying with cash to avoid traceable card transactions. The attendant later noted that Neji appeared calm but kept glancing outside the vehicle. By 10:30, cell tower data placed him roughly 45 miles from the crime scene, heading towards South Carolina. Ironically, Neji's bid to cover his tracks only handed investigators their most crucial lead. Neji made 3 calls from his original phone before discarding it in a roadside ditch. Investigators later recovered the phone using GPS data. Instead of continuing south, Neji unexpectedly doubled back toward Wilmington, North Carolina, suggesting he had a predetermined destination rather than fleeing randomly. This route change temporarily confused authorities, but Neji's decision to take Bolivia's gold 2006 Subaru Forester instead of his own vehicle revealed both opportunity and strategy. Investigators concluded that the car theft served 2 purposes. First, to provide transportation, and second, to make his own vehicle untraceable. Secondly, the Subaru contained practical resources, including emergency supplies that Bolivia kept for her children, such as a first aid kit, blankets, and non-perishable food. These provisions extended Neji's ability to avoid public stops. At some point during his escape, he removed the vehicle's license plate and replaced it with a temporary tag stolen from a dealership lot. But more telling than the swapped plates or stashed supplies was what remained on Bolivia's phone. This switch went unnoticed until after his capture, explaining,
Bro, it's nothing you can do though. Like, it's nothing you can do about it. All this sneaking that you trying to do and changing the text, bro, you can't do that for the rest of your life, bro.
how he avoided detection by automated plate readers. Inside the vehicle, investigators discovered Bolivia's phone, which Neji had used to delete text conversations between them before abandoning her phone in the center console. The SUV's GPS history revealed stops at an ATM, a discount store, and a remote wooded area where evidence was likely discarded. Neji's physical transformation began about 3 hours after the murder. Security footage from a 24-hour discount store showed him purchasing scissors, hair clippers, a baseball cap, and new clothes at 11:42 p.m. In the store's bathroom, Neji cut off his distinctive shoulder-length dreadlocks, which had been his signature style for years. He disposed of the hair in various trash cans throughout the store to prevent it from being found together. The store manager discovered the hair remnants during morning cleaning and contacted authorities after seeing news reports. This drastic change altered his appearance significantly. A comparison between his driver's license photo and post-haircut images revealed a dramatically different person.
He looked the same.
Haircut, Neji changed his usual clothing style, abandoning his preference for bright colors and brand name items in favor of more nondescript attire. He also removed several recognizable gold chains and a watch that friends had associated with him. At 1:17 a.m. on June 5th, approximately 5 hours after the murder, Neji made his only public statement via a cryptic Facebook post. "You post to love me, but gone thug me." This message became a crucial piece of evidence regarding his mindset. The phrase suggested feelings of betrayal, indicating that Neji believed Bolivia had wronged him despite his feelings for her.
Bro.
The post drew immediate responses from friends who were still unaware of the tragic events that had unfolded.
Just because you feel like somebody wronged you, it does not guarantee that you unalive them, bro. That's what I'm saying. Like, she didn't have no chance, man. In all honesty, she didn't have a chance at all, bro, because the way this dude mindset is, she had to know he was slow from the jump. She had to know that he was like slow-minded. She didn't have a chance starting with. It was going to end like this no matter what. And she had to, like, man, he had to show her signs beforehand.
Expressed concern,
Had
others
to.
confusion, with a few simply asking if Neji was okay. He didn't respond to any comments, but investigators confirmed he viewed the replies. His account remained active for several hours afterward. By dawn, the search for Neji had expanded, now involving multiple agencies, including the Bladen County Sheriff's Office, the North Carolina State Bureau of Investigation, and neighboring law enforcement departments. A command center was quickly established at the Bladen County Justice Complex to coordinate the growing flow of information. Highway patrol officers set up rolling checkpoints on key roads exiting the area, while investigators began reaching out to Neji's family members. Though none admitted to knowing his whereabouts, some shared useful information about places he might hide or people he might contact. His bank accounts were placed on alert for suspicious activity, though it became clear he was relying solely on cash. Media outlets aired his description repeatedly, especially noting his altered appearance without the dreadlocks. The public responded quickly, flooding hotlines with over 40 reported sightings. The medical examiner recovered bullet fragments during Bolivia's autopsy, confirming they were consistent with a 9mm caliber weapon, the same type used in forensic technicians restored deleted text messages from Bolivia's phone, revealing escalating arguments and increasingly hostile exchanges in the days leading up to her death. Wi-Fi data from her home router showed Neji's device had connected during specific timeframes, placing him at the residence. Meanwhile, a search of Neji's personal computer seized from his apartment uncovered an alarming browser history. He had looked up topics like how to disappear in counties without extradition, with searches dating back 2 weeks before the It was a disturbing pattern, clear signs of premeditation.
Right.
Despite Neji's efforts to change his appearance and evade capture, the breakthrough came through a combination of tech and classic police work. Around 5:30 a.m. on June 5th, a convenience store clerk in Brunswick County recognized Neji despite the haircut and clothing changes. Although the clerk waited until Neji left to contact police, they were able to provide key details, the direction he was headed, and confirmation that he was still driving Bolivia's gold Subaru. Around the same time, investigators uncovered that Neji had reached out to a former coworker, asking for a place to stay under the pretense of having relationship problems. The coworker grew suspicious after seeing news reports and immediately contacted authorities. Then the most crucial lead of all came in, one that would finally bring the manhunt closer to its end. At 11:23 a.m., Neji attempted to withdraw money from an ATM using his debit card, an electronic breadcrumb that pinpointed his location, and officers quickly tracked him to a Wilmington motel where he had checked in under his cousin's name. A coordinated plan was put in motion to ensure a safe arrest. At 3:15 p.m., tactical officers apprehended Neji as he returned to the motel room. He surrendered without incident, appearing worn.
So how is he able to check in with his cousin name if you got to show ID? So his cousin must have gave him the green light or whatever was going on, because there's no way possible that his cousin gave. There's no way that he got through with his cousin name. You got to show ID. They got to look at it, make sure it's you. They got to have a credit card that matches it. So your cousin gave you the information, bro. Like, that's hard. I won't even, man, I'm going to be honest. If my folks was in a situation like this, bro, don't call me for nothing, bro. You're done. Like right is wrong is wrong. I don't care about that family stuff, bro. Like, you unalive a mother, bro. Like, you ain't have to, let alone put your hands on a girl. You would have been better off putting your hands on her. Then you unalive and you call him for help.
Down and defeated. A loaded 9mm handgun was recovered from Bolivia's stolen vehicle. The same firearm later confirmed through ballistic testing as Neji remained silent during transport to Bladen County, invoking his right to legal counsel. Prosecutors swiftly filed multiple charges: first-degree murder, unborn child, felony discharge of a weapon into occupied property, robbery with a dangerous weapon, and motor vehicle theft. Given the severity of the crimes and his attempt to flee, a judge ordered Neji held without bond.
Why would you? What do you mean? You not saying nothing and you going on a run ain't finna change anything, bro. You literally left and ran and hid and changed. It was very strategic about everything you did. If you were that innocent, why did you move how you moved? A jury is going to look at that and instantly, bro.
June 27th, 2024, during his arraignment, the district attorney formally charged Neji Devon Leach with 6 felony counts, each carrying the possibility of life in prison or the death penalty. Beyond the charges of first-degree born child, Neji also faced counts of possession of a firearm by a felon based on a 2019 conviction for assault, along with grand theft auto, felony discharge of a weapon into occupied property, and tampering with evidence. Each charge carried its own penalty, and together, the potential sentence exceeded multiple life terms. Prosecutors made it clear they would pursue every charge independently and would not entertain plea deals. They cited the premeditated nature of the crimes and Neji's extensive efforts to avoid arrest as justification. Under North Carolina law, specific aggravating factors can elevate a case to qualify for capital punishment. The district attorney listed 3. First, the was committed during the commission of another felony. Second, the victim was pregnant. And third, the crime displayed exceptional cruelty. A special hearing was set for August 2024 to decide whether prosecutors will officially seek the death penalty. Neji's defense team preemptively filed motions contesting the constitutionality of capital punishment, referencing previously undiagnosed mental health conditions. The outcome of that hearing will significantly affect the case's timeline. Capital cases typically take 3 times longer to resolve.
Yeah, I said he'll be sitting there for a minute. He was sitting there for about 15 years probably before they end up finding him guilty on anything.
Justice and closure for Bolivia's grieving family. On Saturday, June 15th at around 1 p.m., a funeral service was held for Bolivia at Central Baptist Church in Whiteville, North Carolina. It was a deeply emotional gathering as family, friends, and members of the community came together to honor her life and mourn her tragic passing. Bolivia's mother, Peggy Blanks, took on guardianship of all 5 of Bolivia's children, moving them into her small 2-bedroom home while actively searching for a larger space. In a show of solidarity, Regalwood residents held a candlelight vigil that drew more than 300 attendees. Local businesses also rallied behind the family, helping establish a trust fund that raised $47,000 in just 2 weeks. Peggy also launched a GoFundMe campaign to seek additional support for the children's ongoing care, funeral costs, and their future needs, ensuring
if they still got it wherever it is, I'm gonna make sure to link it.
Bolivia's kids have the stability and resources to move forward despite the loss of their beloved mother.
Man, prayers, dog. Prayers out to this family, man. Prayers out to the children. More importantly, because in all honesty, bro, the children is the, man, I couldn't imagine that, bro. Like, just the thought of everything just got me feeling uneasy. I ain't gonna lie. But y'all let me know y'all thoughts and opinions on this down below, man. Like I said, man, 1 like equals 1,000 prayers for this family, man, for the children. I'm gonna make sure to go ahead and see if I can find this GoFundMe and link it in the description. So y'all make sure y'all look down below for the link in the description if anything changes or things of that nature, you know what I'm saying? There's no logical words to say that'll be able to make this make sense. Just know he go get his in jail, bro. Like, one thing they don't play about is women in jail. When they ain't seen women in years, like you want to unalive this girl, and I ain't had none in 20 years. I'm finna be in her for life. Bro, they gonna take care of you. You ain't no gangster by pulling the trigger on a woman that was a mother and was sitting there cooking meals. They said the food was sitting there fresh plates. About cooking them to some food. And that's coward activity, man. Coward.